Hello, Shadowcat fans, and welcome to another day of Shadowcat Overwatch. We are here with none other than 22, I don't know what to call you anymore because I used to call you the captain of the varsity squad, but what do I call you now, 22?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still the captain
Okay,
of Overwatch at OSU. Oh, look, there goes the camera.
there it
Well,
goes. It'll be okay.
yeah.
So you're still the captain there, still the captain, still top 500 ball player, still very great at Overwatch and a very good coach. But he has been kind enough to agree to come and cast some Overwatch with me. 22, how are you today?
I'm doing good. I'm so sorry about my camera. It's making me quite frustrated. So I apologize, everybody. But good news is I'm not going to be on the screen for too long. We're going to get to watch some spectacular Atoka Overwatch. I mean, that's basically the only reason I get out of bed in the morning is to watch some Atoka Overwatch. It's great. We're getting to play against a Bing today, correct, Brock?
Correct. Byng Pirates today.
Okay, and now is this our first actual official OESL match that is getting broadcasted of the season?
Yes,
Or
this
did
is our
we?
first official OESL broadcasted match. Unfortunately, we had some teams that had to forfeit some matches, so we this is going to be the first showing of the Shadowcats on the OESL brackets. Yes.
Well, the good news is both of these teams, Atoka and Bing, are ready to go. That means that we can get my glitchy camera out of here and we can get into what we came here to do anyway, which is watch some Overwatch. Our first map here today is going to be King's Row. How do you feel about King's Row as a map?
So I love Kings Row. I like the fun stuff you can do from the cheeky things like I don't know, a bastion on top of statue, the high grounds, the low grounds, because there's lots of different spots that you can peek around and different corners. I enjoy it, but I also really enjoy the hybrid map type. So Kings Row is just a classic for me.
Right, the hybrid map type, an icon, really, it's almost one of the most preferred map types based off of player experiences, from what I can tell. As you can see here on the map, we have a little point area currently indicated by this white square, which we might be able to see on screen. And the attacking team is red, and red is going to come up, try to capture that objective. And the defending team in blue is going to be trying to warn those people off. And if they do successfully capture, well, we'll get to see the other part of this map here. And our blue team is our Atoka Shadowcats. So that's
So
here we're who
I'm
we're
sorry,
looking at
22. I've
today.
got to interrupt you because my color scheme is backwards. I have yellow as
Oh,
as
okay.
uh, the Shadowcats and red as the enemy team because of
Okay,
my
gotcha.
my fun times of my colorblind settings.
I see, I see. Well, we're rooting for the yellow Shadowcats today. I know we're also impartial to the color red, but we're just gonna have to root for yellow. We can
We'll
see
call it
that
gold.
Bing is actually coming in really quickly here, but it's Asian Andy on the Genji that's gonna find the first elimination. A very interesting composition coming out from Atoka. You can see how spread out they're playing. However, the area that they're focusing their attention onto is all very similar. So, you always want to see a team grouping up and playing together, and even though they're not standing in the same physical location, Atoka is able to do just that so far in this match.
So I'm a little surprised by the Asian Andy Genji. It's not one of his normal heroes, but I'm not surprised by the subpar Doomfist, a classic subpar pick that we saw lots throughout the year for the Shadowcats last year.
And look at how Atoka is engaging. And granted, they did lose subpar on that engagement. However, the ability usage by Atoka is actually coming in very cohesively right now. You'll see Markimus leading in, jumping in and receiving a bubble from his off tank, H Cobra, and at the same time, subpar will jump in on the Doomfist to make those engagements happen. So as we go into this next fight, some members from Atoka are still down, and it looks like Bing might be trying to capitalize, not able to push through the choke yet. I'm expecting that we're going to see a quick little reset from each side here.
Yeah, and it looks like the Shadowcats opting not to push up all the way to the wall, but instead playing at the edge of point so that way if maybe they try to get a cheeky touch, they don't get a tick on point at all. Uh, but playing a little bit passive, I think they may be baiting in the Bing Pirates.
Well, they've, bait or not, Being Pirates have found their way onto the objective. Here comes the engagement. H Cobra and Subpar are going to work together to find that elimination onto the Lucio. H Cobra going on a tear right now, finding 2 eliminations in this team fight. H Cobra, a veteran player for the Atoka Shadowcats, leading us into this team fight, and the aggression doesn't stop. That's one thing that we've loved to see from the Shadowcats, is that once they start to get some momentum, they turn the knob to 11, and they're almost pushing up to the spawn for the Beam Pirates right now, but it looks like they know when to stop. Gonna go ahead and hit the reset, and now, Brock, with about 2 minutes on the clock here, the ultimates that become available are going to become ever so important. What ultimates do you think we're going to see in this next fight?
So I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see a Nano Blade here. Blorgnarth with the Nano, Asian Andy with the Blade ready to go, and even the subpar Doomfist with the Meteor Strike. I mean, it sounds like maybe they're using that first to initiate.
You know, it's a safe bet. The Nano Blade is going to get a lot of value whenever it pops off, and it's going to be a crowd pleaser when we do get to see it. But Subpar was able to just engage by himself, practically 1v6, although he did have the assistance of his Shadowcat friends, H-Cobra, giving him that crucial projected bubble to protect him on the engagement, letting him get away with that. And they found a couple of eliminations, making that a very inexpensive team fight win. And look, they're going at it again. The Graviton Surge has been invested by H-Cobra, and the Blade goes in as well. No Nano being invested. They decided that that was going to be enough. And so now we actually see that we still have both support ultimates available. Hull having this beat drop. And if we look at the ultimates available for Byng, that beat drop is going to be oh so important. Brock, 6 ultimates available for our attacking team here, and they're already starting to invest using the rally, using the visor, using the tire. It's going to be pure pandemonium on the point in just moments.
Well, and you saw the Doomfist cancel on that visor, not able to get any value out of it. And it sounds like Subpar may have also gotten the Sigma ulti as well. The Gravitic Flux not able to pick anybody up.
This is a skirmish on the point, as what we can see. The Junkrat for Byng is able to eliminate the main tank from Atoka. Markham is falling short there. No tick has been given away, but there's only a fleeting number of people able to contest. Subpar finds 1 elimination. Make it 2! Goes up into the air with the Meteor Strike. Drops down. Not able to find the elimination with the ultimate. He is eliminated by the Byng Pirates support player. And now the fight just continues to break out into this devolved state. The Reinhardt has returned, and he's swinging his hammer on the payload, or on the point rather, but no ultimates are available. So this is going to be a mechanical brawl at best.
And overtime has ticked and began, so this is do or die for the Byng Pirates here. If they lose the fight on point, chances are they are not going to be able to get back to get another touch.
Big anti-nade coming in from Blorgnarth. We've seen a number of those throughout this match, but that one may have came at the most clutch time. That anti-nade landing, making sure none of the members of Byng Pirates are able to receive any healing, and that makes all the damage you do oh so much more powerful. And that's Atoka Shadowcats able to what we call full hold. They held the entire duration without giving up a single tick of permanent point progress there. Pretty impressive from my seat. Brock, how do you feel about that first?
I feel very good. I have to talk about the fact that they used a very strange string of ultis here. Instead of going in with the Nano Blade early, like we thought they might, they go in with the Doomfist ulti to start. So that kind of sets them in a different spot. Win the team fight with it, and then instead of using the Nano Blade, which is normal, they use the Nano Grav and save the Nano for another fight.
And, you know, that composition, having the Winston, Markham is the main tank player here on that Winston character. Nano Blade is such a flashy and popular combo, although you can get a lot done with a Nano Winston as well. So I actually definitely respect the move from the Shadowcats there, opting to, instead of comboing the Nano and the Blade, actually just comboing H-Cobra and Asian Andy's ultimates together in order to win that team fight and then save some ultimates for future team fights. Now, we talked about this being a hybrid map type. Unfortunately, Byng Pirates were not able to capture that first point, so we didn't see the payload portion. And what this turns into now is, can the attacking Shadowcats outperform what we just saw from Byng? They just need to capture 1 tick of permanent point progress. So just in about 4 seconds, you're going to see the little user interface there in the middle of the screen pop up, and you'll see that yellow little tick mark after next to the letter A. If the Atoka Shadowcats are able to capture basically 33% of the objective, they will win this first round in this match, this best of 3 match type. And so let's see what happens as Subpar already starts to crack the can open, finding an elimination onto the Byng Pirates Junkrat.
Very good play there, and what's sad is I actually thought he... Ooh, and another one with the headshot. I actually thought he hit the Junkrat twice in the dome, and it just wasn't enough to kill him. Apparently, hitbox shenanigans going on over there.
You know, I'm actually a little bit confused here. Am I supposed to be happy that the Shadowcats are being patient despite getting these couple of eliminations? Or do we really just want to see them hit the go button? Do we want to see them capitalize on those 2 elims? Finally, the engagement kind of starts to set here as Markimus jumps in with the bubble. And picks are going both ways. The Soldier 76 from Byng was able to eliminate Subpar, but other than that, realistically, the kill feed is all yellow in your case for the Shadowcats. H-Cobra finds another one, just the Junkrat and the Moira alive, and with nobody left to contest the point, the progress will start to capture Brock. I think this might be it.
And that looks like this round goes to the Shadowcats, able to full hold on defense and then quickly make quick work of the point in their attack round.
Now, I want to see this play of the game here. Play of the game just highlights an important play that we got to see in that previous match, and it is going to be Asian Andy using this Genji Blade. I'm assuming we're going to see H Cobra grabs in here as well. Yep, we
Yes.
see it there. There's the Graviton Surge, and you can see that just allows Asian Andy here to swing and just do massive amounts of damage and nearly touching the spawn there from the Byng Pirates. A very dominant performance in this first round. It's a best of 3, though, so it's certainly not over.
Yes, and I got to say, I really enjoy what we saw there in that kill feed. If you'll notice, Asian Andy actually only got 2 of the kills. H Cobra given credit for 2 of them, and then Subpar coming in with the cleanup for the last 2. So it was a Shadowcat effort for that play of the game.
A Shadowcat effort. That's the Shadowcat way, is it not?
Yes, and
Yeah.
if you're not a Shadowcat fan, if you're just an Atoka fan, it's the Wampus Cat way as well.
I see. Yeah, the Wampus Cat way. Well,
Yes.
and I think that highlights kind of what we talked about at the beginning of that series as well. Can get a sneak peek at the compositions. Bing is flashing the Symmetra. I'm wondering if that's just going to be a quick way to get out of spawn, or if that is going to be an integrated part of their strategy. But from the side of the Shadowcats, we're seeing a pretty dedicated Brawl composition and some interesting DPS lineups, specifically the subpar Doomfist. We talked about this before. Doomfist is a damage player, but he almost acts like a main tank in the way that he's able to lead the team. And if H Cobra wants to continue giving him those projected bubbles, he might be able to make some space for the team in a way that Markimus won't be able to in this matchup. And here is actually the lead. We see Byng Pirates opting to stand on the point. How do you feel about point presence on this map?
So on this map, it's a great place to be, but it's if you're going against a Doomfist or a Junkrat, it's a scary place to be. There's a lot of walls in there for things to bounce off and blow up and get punched into if you're a Doomfist.
You know, the Shadowcats pulled off that engagement so fast. Yeah, part of me respects Byng for just getting to the point, capturing it, and saying, this is where we're going to be. But the Shadowcats took their time. They said, all right, guys, let's go in. And they just devised this coordinated attack that really seemed to break the Byng Pirates apart here. And so now what's this engagement going to be, like a 4-man anti-grenade? I'm almost surprised that Markimus didn't just want to push in there and start swinging the hammer. But meanwhile, Asian Handy sneaks around in the backline on his signature Hanzo pick and eliminates the Symmetra. So how is Byng going to react? It looks like they want to take the fight, but show to the Shadowcats.
You know, and we've talked about this time and time again with the Shadowcats. It seems like when we are not aggressive, we lose maps. So long as we are playing aggressive, they are doing what they have been taught and told time and time again. Even though it may not work every time, it seems to be the way that works for them the most.
Shadowcats rolling up into the 50% capture category here, or part here. Just about halfway done with this round. If they can just duplicate what they've done this far, they will win the first round and then just be 1 round away from potential victory against the Byng Pirates. But they're going to be coming in with a couple of ultimates to face as the Byng Pirates are about to go up this main choke point again. I want to see Subpar. He's been going in so quickly on these engagements, and he has the Meteor Strike available. So what's this engagement look like? Right now, it's just the spam fest from Shadowcats. Here's the punch. Canceled, but the engage goes in. This is what we call the Meteor Strike and the Graviton Surge combo. Honestly, Brock, I feel so bad. I've forgotten the name of that combo. Space Jam. That's right. But it doesn't even matter.
That's
the
right.
eliminations are just coming in. A lot of ultimates used, but still some saved. We see Markimus still has the Earth Shatter. Asian Andy still has the Dragon here, but he's going to look to use it early as there's just really not much time. And that's it. That's
Now,
the Shadowcat.
I do have to say, you called out that they used Space Jam. And they wouldn't, me as a not avid Overwatch player that's still attempting to get better, did not know what that was. And I was unfortunately talking to Mr. Bray. Can you explain to me what Space Jam is?
So yeah, Space Jam. I mean, again, all that this goes back to, the theme of today's stream essentially is playing together and playing as a team. So Space Jam is just a fancy little name that people have tacked on to when a Zarya, in this case that's the character H Cobra is playing, uses their ultimate to group up the enemy team in one location, and then a Doomfist player uses Meteor Strike, their ultimate, to slam down in that area and do massive amounts of damage to the enemy team. So the Space Jam combo there, an ultimate combo used in the previous fight to win what was probably considered the final fight of that map. And that's led us here. We're on Sanctum, and this is potentially the final round of the series. Look at this rotation we're seeing from Shadowcats wrapping around the left side here and looking for the brawl.
And that's a kind of a signature Shadowcat thing. We saw the monkey the first map, but it's been more of the Shadowcat way in games past and seasons past that Brawl was the signature.
Yes, and we've seen that a lot. The Marcus Reinhardt has led the Shadowcats to many a victory in the past. Right now, I gotta say I'm confused. If we're Brawl, I want to see the Shadowcats grouping up together and pushing in on a singular target. But right now, it seems like this double spam composition with the Pharah and the Junkrat is really giving Atoka some trouble. It's Byng Pirates actually capturing the first part of this point here. They're in control right now, but finally the Shadowcats have grouped up together, and Markimus is leading the team in with damage on that hammer, just swinging anything that dares step in his area. And they might go ahead and take the capture here. It looks like that's what's going to happen. 18% of the cap point was captured there by Byng, but now the Shadowcats are in control.
And it's funny because playing I grinded on Reinhardt a lot the first season I played tank, and I loved playing Reinhardt for being able to be the guy in the front and swing that massive hammer at people. It was a good time. But I know people that do not enjoy playing Reinhardt for the exact same reason that I loved it. They do not like the fact that he doesn't have a weapon other than the hammer. He has nothing to shoot other than the fire strike, and that has a cooldown.
You've got to make use of the tools that you do have. Just because he only has it doesn't mean that it's not weak. In fact, it is very strong, but you got to look out for that. Wait, the grab drag? The Graviton Surge, this time comboed with Asian Andy's Dragon, might be able to keep the team for Shadowcats on life support. Byng was able to find a massive amount of eliminations, but again, the part of being on defense here in this control map is they have control of the point. It doesn't matter if Byng gets 5 eliminations or even 6 until they're able to get their bodies on the objective and turn it around. But you can see those people that were eliminated by the Byng Pirates Junkrat, a very good Riptire, but they've made it back from spawn and they've not lost control of the objective. And so that fight was basically all for nothing. And here we see, and actually really early Earthshatter coming out from Archimus, the Nano being invested as well. This is the go button for Shadowcats. They're just pushing in, looking to do massive amounts of damage. Subpar, we haven't been talking about him too much on this round. He's switched to the Cassidy, a medium-range hit scan character who is just known as kind of the consistent DPS player. He just does mass amounts of damage, but he's actually getting sneaky as I say that, crouching into the enemy team's backline. I'm not sure what the play is here.
I would
I'm
assume
actually
he's looking for the Deadeye.
I do as well, but he didn't pull it. Is he going to be able to find value? He does find the Ana and the mech, and then a follow-up elimination onto the Lucio. Brock, could this be it?
I think that is.
And that's the Shadowcats winning the first broadcasted game of their OESL Overwatch season. A very exciting win against Byng Pirates. And, I don't personally ever remember seeing the Byng Pirates play before, but they had some stuff that they brought to the table that I really appreciated seeing. And primarily that would be their ability to switch compositions to try and make something work. They were on the back foot for the majority of this series, and that's not always the best thing to see as a team. However, they were constantly switching it up, and even in those last moments, I think that might have been their strongest version of a comp against the Shadowcats. That Pharah Junkrat composition was able to do mass amounts of damage. However, the Shadowcats were just too strong today, an absolutely strong performance coming in from those players. And I did get a little bit of talking to the stream about how excited I am to get to see the JV team play. We've seen the JV team scrimmage on screen, and as a coach who's moderately familiar with how the JV team is operating, I know they've been putting in the work. But how are they going to compare against this team that just played against the varsity team? This is the comparison that you really just don't get to see firsthand that often. These are the sorts of things that people would speculate about, but we're going to see it firsthand, Coach Wolf. So it's going to be really exciting here. And exciting are the compositions as well. What's funny is look at how similar the junior varsity composition is to the varsity composition that we saw there on Nepal. We can see that it is a brawl composition centered around Orion, but instead of cheering on for the hammer swinging Reinhardt out of Markimus, that's who we're going to be looking at from a Legacy Man here. And so how is that going to be different, and how are the Pirates going to react? And we can see that they're starting, the Byng Pirates again, mixing things up, trying to capitalize. They're on a full spam composition. 2 shields and a Pharah could be challenging. However, when you're on attack, taking space with two shields isn't always the easiest method. So I'm really interested to see how this goes. Right now, this is like a fresh game to me because I don't have a lot of experience witnessing all of these strategies. But right now, we're seeing the Brawl composition on defense here, and they're just kind of waiting, right? Waiting to see if the spam composition from Byng Pirates is going to try and take some space. Here's the Pharah for Byng and the Genji, the DPS duo taking the high ground and starting to inch their way in. Legacy Man is getting quite a lot of pressure on the front line, and there's the Brigitte actually able to eliminate him. Now Shadowcats are without their main tank. Are they going to be able to salvage this fight into a winnable one? They have to find an elimination soon.
They do on the far, and I'm excited to say that while this fight is starting to lean now towards the Shadowcats, but still anybody's fight, I do like that the fact that the Shadowcats have grouped up together to attempt to be a front together, not separated, not falling one by one, but instead fighting together.
Really, I want to talk about something, but I need this fight to get over with first. Almond Milk does find that elimination. Finally, the Shadowcats are starting to leverage multiple eliminations together. Hopefully, call that a fight win. And now, Brock, I've coached a lot of Overwatch. I've watched a lot of Overwatch. I'm not sure that I've ever seen a single I don't even know what healing pad come out from a Soldier 76. It's a rather negligible ability. You just drop it down and it's meant to provide Soldier 76 with a bit of healing. But he healed up his entire team with that. Xander already has his ultimate due to a vast amount of healing, and Legacy Man drops down his ultimate as well. This is a totally different team fight that we're seeing. Shadowcats definitely leading the front in there, being aggressive, dropping in 3 ultimates just to make that a quick, crisp, and clean team fight win. I love to see that aggression coming out from the JV squad.
Yeah, and one of the things that I did tell them when I walked over there was they have to be the aggressor. Be the aggressor, not the aggressee. And I like that they kept No-No's ult along with Almond Milk's ult. And Almond Milk had his built up at the start of the fight, but now they have an opportunity to throw the grab and let their Reinhardt swing into the entire team to gain that ulti back.
And Almond Milk and No are actually just reminding me of what we saw in King's Row between H Cobra and Subpar. I want to see that again. I want to see a combo. It was actually H Cobra and Asian Andy, excuse me. But I want to see Almond Milk lead in with an aggressive Graviton Surge, and I'd like to see No follow it up with the Riptire. That combo could be absolutely devastating, but only if Shadowcats are willing to take the first step and throw in the Graviton Surge. I'm honestly not sure. A little bit of lag for me. There's the Grav! But
The
no
beat as well.
And this is going to be a skirmish because neither team had a decisive engagement. It's just going to come down to mechanical ability. The tank line for the Shadowcats are able to find a couple of eliminations, but so is the Pharah, finding one onto the Reinhardt and then themselves as well. No replies with a couple of eliminations, and that looks like it. That
Very
looks
good
like
fight
the
there. And
Shadowcats.
I love the death shooter. I'm missing the word. The discipline. He saw that his tanks were low, but I think he saw that they had the fight won. So instead of wasting nano on an already won fight, he just kept pumping heal so that way they have the nano for the next fight.
Talking about aggressive playstyles, it's Byng Pirates using the first ultimate. No, it does reply. This could be massive. No, the rally was able to keep everybody alive there from Byng, and so this fight is going to get elongated. The Junkrat from Byng finds one elimination, does get traded back, and once again, the tank line from JV impressively finding these eliminations first. Death Shooter lets that discipline go, launches the nano into the team fight, and is able to let Legacy Man find a couple of great eliminations. 7 seconds on the clock here. And Byng has to get a touch off if they're going to want to make this fight happen. But no, Legacy Man slams the hammer down, stops the attackers in their tracks. And wouldn't you know it, the JV squad has been able to successfully full hold on their Hollywood defense, Brock.
Very good play there. And, you know, that nano that came out late, I had said discipline that first fight, and I think that nano may have given them the edge that they needed to go ahead and win that fight. It did not look good for the Shadowcats right at the end of that fight, and the nano comes out, heals the Reinhardt up, along with gives him that big damage boost to swing that big hammer harder.
And I mean, that's kind of insight from a player. So Death Shooter there had that knowledge, right? Well, one, he's taking into consideration if we can win this fight, we don't need ultimates because this is the last team fight. I'm not saving this thing for Overwatch 2 to come out. I'm trying to use it right now. So he throws it over at Legacy Man, and Legacy Man instantly gets to use getting value from that ultimate and making space and finding a couple more eliminations. I mean, I will say we are missing a little bit of that crispiness that we see from the varsity squad. but all of the tools are in the kit. You know what I mean? They're all right
Yes.
there. It's just and when the start we saw I think I saw one really really beautifully executed team fight come out from the JV squad here when they used their ultimates first. They went in aggressively, they went in together, and all were really cohesive, and that was super exciting. But this match has been nothing if not exciting, and so with Spam being a composition that's favored on the defensive side and being clearly being a Spam favored team, I'm interested to see how this goes. This honestly, this game is not done yet because there's so much spam potential on this map for Bing to make
Yes.
space with.
And while we didn't see Bing swap their company, this Shadowcat JV team has been working on a dive composition, and I don't know if they're going to bring it out or not. But I like the rotation that they're taking.
Look at how much space they've made here, Coach Wolf. They already are onto the point, and this is not what you want to see if you're Bing. You want to keep your distance from this hammer, and he is just bringing it straight to the point. Legacy Man leading to a couple of eliminations. It might already be done. This might be it.
And that is, goodness, way to take space. They went directly to right side, no hesitation as an entire group. Went to the right, went through the door together. They had to use Emort to stay alive, but they used it and all stay alive and pushed in.
And Legacy Man, he's getting the play of the game here. We get to see him turn this hammer. This is on the fight that I called my favorite fight, right? The Earth Shatter goes down, the Nano Boost gets invested, and we can't see behind Legacy Man right now. But as you see him, he turns his camera. His entire team is right there. That was a perfect demonstration of unison coming out from the JV squad. I mean, if anything's rubbing off from the varsity crew, it's got to be that cohesiveness because they played that so well together. And if they executed every team fight like that, they would be a real force to reckon with. But it didn't matter today; they were able to take it home. I'm very happy with that performance from the JV group there.
Alrighty, everybody. Shadowcat fans, have a great evening. Remember to be a great sportsman because it's the Wampus Cat way and it's the Shadowcat way. Everybody have a good night.
Night, everybody.